Global warming. It's when the Earth heats up. It happens when greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrous oxide, and methane trap heat and light from the sun in the Earth's atmosphere, which increases the temperature. This hurts many people, animals, and plants. Many cannot take the change, so they die. Also, it's real. And here's some background information.
The last 30 years has seen the warmest surface temperature in recorded history. The average temperature has gone up by 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit in that time, which may not seem like a lot, but look what it has done to the polar ice caps and the animals that live on it. From 1998 to 2008, it was the hottest recorded decade in the past 1,300 years.
There are several greenhouse gases that humans emit in a bunch of different ways. Also, the burning of fossil fuels in cars and factories take a toll on the air pollution. Next, deforestation and electricity production take the same effects. On top of that, CO2 is the gas responsible for the warming of the atmosphere. Two more ways that humans increase the production of CO2 is from forest fires and landfills. Stop.
Many have tried, but none have made a significant impact on the issue at hand. One solution is that has been worked on, and still does to this day, is energy efficiency. The energy used to power, heat, and cool our home, businesses, and industries is the single largest contributor to global warming. Energy efficiency technologies allow us to use less energy to get the same or higher level of production, service, and comfort. If we track farther back in time, we can see that there hasn't really been any other types of technology to make a real difference back then.
The effects of global warming have taken more than a small toll on not only America, but the Earth. Because of global warming, scientists have proven that there has been more frequent and severe weather, dirtier air, higher wildlife extinction rates, more acidic oceans, and higher sea levels. There are numerous problems that come from more frequent and severe weather. Scientists have gone under studies to show that the climate change has caused more powerful hurricanes, as well as longer and hotter heat waves, rainfall on a much larger scale, and more frequent droughts, for example, California. There's also dirtier air. A report from the Obama administration, which is 332 pages, backed up this idea, and also adds that food will be more tainted and water will be more contaminated. Finally, higher wildlife extinction rates. Earth is supposedly in its sixth mass extinction of plants and animals, and the past two are directly from global warming. Most animals cannot withstand the warmer climates, making other animals' food not being able to withstand warmer climates in a never-ending cycle. 99% of extinction to animals nowadays is because of us, humans. We are destroying habitats, for example deforestation, making it entirely on us to end the problem at hand, or we could be next.
Due to higher acidities in the ocean and the heating of the atmosphere, the Earth's temperature has risen drastically. Coral reefs are being destroyed by the rise in the ocean's temperature, killing the coral. Not only is this harming Americans, but it is affecting everybody on Earth. Fish are dying, which is a food source for many animals and humans.
Believe it or not, there is a large number of people who don't think global warming exists. This is primarily because the facts given by scientists just don't seem realistic, and also people just don't want to think that we could change the course of our lives. Nuclear energy produces just under 20% of the electricity in the United States. The problems with nuclear energy is that there are a lot of nuclear waste, the cost is very high to produce it, and if something were to go wrong at the nuclear plant, there could be a dramatic accident. These short-term effects are nothing in comparison to the long-term effects of using fossil fuels.
Technology has improved significantly in a short amount of time that has given scientists different solutions to global warming. Wind power is one of those solutions that has become very effective. In order to harness the natural winds, wind turbines are set up in fields and plains where wind is very plentiful. The wind turns the propellers on the turbines, which turns that movement into usable energy. The pros outweigh the cons for this solution. A con is that not the most efficient way to harness energy. Water power or hydropower is another solution that scientists have been improving on and has become much more popular. Dams are made which hold large bodies of water. That water is channeled out, and the water leaving the dams turn turbines, which translates into usable energy.
Solutions available for global warming are increasing energy efficiency. making better mileage per gallon in cars so we use less fossil fuels. Also, we can continue to improve and expand our renewable resources, which are solar, wind, and water. Speaking of which, there's solar power. Recently, there has been a major increase in the use of solar power. Many modern homes have had solar panels installed on the roofs of their home or set in the yard. Solar panels have also decreased in price, allowing for more customers to purchase them. Companies like Apple have recently made a 100-acre solar farm for powering iCloud. Wind power and water power are less common, and the average Joe would not be using these renewable resources, but companies and townships would use reservoir in conjunction with dams to produce energy.
Global warming affects the Earth in more ways than one. Economically, millions of dollars are wasted on the attempt to create more efficient ways to use energy, when lots of solutions are as simple as avoiding waste or pollution. Also, politically, many candidates in the current race address or mention the issue of global warming, but have no plans to make any real effort to put our pollution problem to an end, when it is as serious of a problem as numerous others.
Global warming takes 5 major effects on the Earth in social aspects. One is small farmers will feel the effects. Small farmers already struggle to get their fair prices for their goods, safeguard against weather and pests, and compete with large-scale monoculture agricultural systems to stay in business. Climate change is poised to make matters worse for farmers through a shift in climate and agricultural zones. Secondly, rural and urban poor are the hardest hit. 1 billion people will still live to extreme poverty in 2015, and many depend on their surrounding natural resources to survive. Poverty and inequality, which we have been working on to improve for decades, will only get worse with climate change because disadvantaged groups do not have the resources to cope with the effects. Finally, communities will be forced to relocate. Many communities will be forced to move as they are exposed to rising sea levels, extreme drought that puts a strain on resources, or even extreme rainfall that becomes the norm. Small island developing states are particularly vulnerable and are at the forefront of feeling the effects of climate change.
As you can clearly see, global warming affects the social, economical, and political aspects of the world. Finally, there are numerous solutions such as solar, wind, and water, but the only solution that will be the most effective for us as a population is to put an end to pollution. We need to be more efficient with our resources and energy.
On the way, remember to say,